Hey guys, welcome back to HR Jen. I'm so glad you're here. You guys, we have such a special episode. One of my most highly rated guests is back. I have Chef Matt back with us today because, well, there's a whole thing with Meghan and Gwyneth, and it involves cooking and food. And I thought, who better to break this down with me than Chef Matt? Hi, Chef Matt. How are you?
Hi, Jen. How are you?
I'm good. You doing okay?
Yeah, I'm doing really well. Thank you.
Good. Listen, I know you're going to hate this, but I have to put you on the spot and say people loved you in the episode where you were on and we broke down the that was With Love Meghan disaster on Netflix. I'm actually surprised you're speaking to me after making you watch all that.
I really enjoyed the last time. I was blown away by how many people really seemed to get behind it. It was really good.
Well, I'm not because you're wonderful, but yes, no, it's wonderful. The response has been incredible. And so many people have asked for you to have your own YouTube channel. Is that something you've given any thought to? I'm putting you on the spot because we didn't even talk about this beforehand. Is that something you're ever interested in or open to or not so much?
It's never been something that I've ever thought of, but I've always really been a big thing for training and development and teaching. So that is something that I always thought that I'd get into eventually.
Okay, well, there you go. Well, you have an audience already. So if you ever decide to do it, you let us know and we will jump on and fully support you.
I always thought I was just really geeky.
Well, both can be true.
Everybody that knows me, like when I start talking about the food, they always like, "It's oh God, not again! Don't start this again."
No, you just seem to have people just really enjoyed your point of view and your thoughtful discussion of it all. So anytime you want to come on, I'm going to bug you to come back. And if you ever decide to start a channel, let us know and we'll fully support. I think that's wonderful.
Definitely, and it's nice when you've got a serious passion about something, and you've invested such a large part of your life developing those skills and that passion. I think it's important for people to be able to share it, but to be able to do it in a constructive way. And that's something that you learn through years of working, and it's like there's no point in going into the people that work for you and just berating them. You've got to sort of tell them that they've done something wrong, but give them constructive feedback and sort of guide them to do better.
That's true. Yeah, that's basically the opposite of what we've seen from Meghan, but yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, that's true. That's true. And then I definitely never want to dox you, and you've chosen you would rather not. You're just not on social media and stuff because I always ask my guests, how can we support you? Right now, you're just staying private. We respect that. Although I am proud of you for sharing your actual photo here. That's a nice.
I think it's that's me in my younger days.
Okay. Well, you're looking good. But you preferred not to, and we totally respect that. Now, I do have to say somebody figured out your identity and they said that you're in New Zealand. Can you confirm that you're in New Zealand?
Absolutely. I think wasn't the Lord of the Rings filmed over there?
Yeah.
I think if you watch it closely, I think you can see me in the back.
Are you a hobbit? Is that
Yeah, hairy feet. Yeah, that's me.
Perfect. Okay. Well, if you're not going to give us any more personal info, I guess we'll get into the cooking. Gosh.
The cooking's the fun part.
Oh, okay. For you, maybe. I'm just here for the snark. So that works. That's good. We make a good team. So that's perfect. But I brought you here today because several videos have come out and I'd like to get your take on them. Of course, just in case you guys don't know, or Chef Matt, I know you know a little bit, but just in case, there's just kind of a back and forth between Gwyneth and Meghan right now. The big behind the scenes thing is Meghan's fans, I call them the mediocre mafia, are hardcore attacking Gwyneth's Instagram page from what I could tell. And specifically there's this chef that Gwen uses quite a bit that like a health foods, I believe she's a chef. She's like into healthy foods. And she was showing how she makes this salad and this dressing and stuff. She said something along the lines of, and this is my kitchen, which the Lemon Rats took as a dig against Meghan. So ever since then, they've been attacking. So I believe, in my opinion, this is Gwyneth kind of clapping back a little bit. So if you don't mind, we can watch and I can fill in some of the details there. But I'd love to get your take on her cooking, her kitchen, whatever you feel like on that.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll start with Gwyneth. Now I'd love to play the sound. I can't because it's copywritten music. It's that oh gosh, what's the name of the song? Is This Will Be an Everlasting Love, whatever that
Yeah.
I think it's called This Will Be. Yeah. And so I'll hit play on this. And again, there's no sound because I can't play it. But yeah, so we'll just talk through basically. So you see Gwyneth, and I can pause anywhere. I figure let's play it once and then I'll go back and pause it if that works.
Yeah.
So Gwyneth, this is her kitchen. PJs. It looks like she's making biscuits.
The beautiful stove.
Beautiful. Beautiful leg. There you go. Cute
long
dog.
legs. Long legs.
Yeah, long-legged blonde. There's nothing wrong with that, right? Yep. So again, we'll get into the food of it all, and I'll pause anything you want once we go through this. I'm just letting it play once. And then she shows the breakfast. It's just playing the music. And there you go. And that's it for the video. So let me go back and I'll just pause along the way. What are your initial thoughts on this, just in general, and anything you want on any of this?
I just think it's a very feel-good, homely situation, isn't it? I mean, it's a stunning background. The kitchen's glorious, and you can see she's right at home, no makeup, no hair, in her pajamas, very relaxed, very chilled out. And she's almost got that, I'm going to do this and I don't care. And it's a very relaxed, feel good little episode, isn't it, that we're watching?
Absolutely. That is
that little grin there, it's almost got a fuck you grin, hasn't it? It's almost got a, here we go, this is for you.
Yes, and that makes me want to be friends with Gwyneth. I've never cared either way about her, but now I'm into it. Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's very much the thing I instantly notice is that she seems to have a genuine happiness doing this. Something that I think we both noticed was lacking in a lot of Meghan's work. It just seemed to be like gritted teeth and tense and all that, whereas this is just, let's have fun, let's make breakfast.
Exactly.
Had you ever heard of this brand before? I'm not familiar with it. I know you probably.
I've never heard of it, but I believe it kind of looks to me like it could be an Italian thing. That.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. It looks delicious, whatever it is. I want to eat it. Oh, let me give a shout out too to Nancy Sidley, who had posted this. I want to give her credit too. Thank you, Nancy Sidley, for posting this. This was from Gwyneth Paltrow's Instagram. Okay, so let's see. I'll hit play again. But already I've learned more than I did from all of Meghan's show, because at least she's showing what she's doing.
Yeah, and like the oven's on as well, which is a massive bonus. We've turned the oven on.
That's true, and we don't have anything like, well, goopy, no, but like runny, like that quiche where they were just like, I like mine runny. No, you don't. That's listeria or salmonella or whatever that is, right? No. All right.
So I presume that these are like American biscuits, right?
Absolutely. It looks like it. It looked like a biscuit mix. I don't know if I couldn't tell if it was a mix or frozen or whatever they were. Yeah, I think so.
They look like little pellets, don't they? They look like the bag was just like, it got maybe 6 or 7 of those in it, and you just take them out and just let them air a little bit and then pop them through the oven.
There you go. Sounds good to me. That's my kind of cooking. So I do have to point out that I find that very funny to me. And again, I don't know, but I just got this feeling she's showing she's barefoot, which I find kind of funny. And in fairness, it's her kitchen, so there's that. She kicked her leg up, so I think that's Gwyneth's version of "Let's go." Maybe I'm misreading it, but I think it's kind of a fun. Also, a very clever friend of mine had pointed out that she thinks it's kind of it could be interpreted as an FU to Meghan, because think about it, Meghan puts her legs out there constantly, and marched in front of servicemen and women, that kind of thing, kind of known for being just obnoxious and the legs out and stuff. So, hey, if you kick your leg up in the kitchen, maybe I'm overthinking it. I just think that's I like my friend's theory on that. All right. So, yep, there you
Look
go.
how
I
happy
like
she is.
the
Yeah.
quick smile. I can take that back. That was cute. Just a quick, just happiness. Yeah, I like that very much. I think that's fun. I think that's, again, the overall is there's a joy here that's missing.
I
From
think
the
I think I think if she has done it as a little comeback for Meghan, I think that you can see that she's enjoying the comeback. I
Yeah,
think she's very comfortable doing what she's doing, isn't she?
absolutely. I think so too. And you know what? Let's say we've got this wrong and she just decided, you know what? It's Saturday morning. I want to make breakfast for, she's got kids. I want to make breakfast for my kids. Great. Again, the difference being there's a joy. She's showing what she's doing. She's happy. She seems like she knows, she knows a thing or two as she's going.
Mm,
And yeah, she's already beating Megan, I think, in that regard. And she's not wearing beige.
exactly. And she's happy. And
And she's
it's not an artificial happy, is it?
exactly. That's exactly it. And just again, I'm not even a huge Gwyneth fan. I'm not anti. I just don't really carry their way. But when I see this, I think I want to know more. This is
Yeah.
interesting. The background's interesting. The view's interesting. All of it. Yeah.
Mm.
And then here she is with the dog. The dog looks genuinely happy to see her.
The dog's so happy.
Yes.
So happy.
Yes. And her with the dog. I didn't really, again, I didn't so much see that. I think the
But
dog was more of a
you can
prop.
see as soon as she stopped, that dog wanted more.
Uh-huh. Here, I'll back it up. It's so cute. Yes. And he responds to absolutely. He responds and he wants, he's happy. Yep. And then delicious looking biscuits. And it looks like the oven was actually on, to your point.
Yep,
If you guys didn't
absolutely.
watch, go back and watch. Chef Matt pointed out that it didn't look like the oven was on in the Meghan show. Well, it couldn't have been because the chef grabbed it with her bare hand or something.
Yeah, exactly. But for a bought-in product,
Mhm.
I mean, the size that they went into the oven, they've doubled in size, which is exactly what you want. They've got a beautiful color on them, the golden brown around the outside, and it's
Mhm.
like these biscuits. They're very, very similar to an English scone. If you
Mhm.
look at the recipes, if you look at the variants,
Mhm.
they're very, very similar in the way that they're produced and the way that they're baked. And an English scone, it should always have that little tear out. And you can see
Oh.
that every single one of them's got this beautiful little tear out where you can see the white, and the white's the soft, delicate, fluffy bit.
Oh, look
So,
at you. Uh-huh.
as a bought-in product, I mean, I've never heard of this brand before, but you can see there's a quality there.
Mhm. That's amazing. So again, I know nothing about this stuff. So the tear out is the white part, and does that add? Is that for the look or for the flavor or all the above?
It's the way that they produce. So they've got eggs, they've got butter. They should have a little bit of baking powder in there,
Mhm.
and it's like when you combine those ingredients and they go into an oven at 180 degrees. What you're looking for. You're looking for a golden brown, and then just before they're coming out of the oven, the last couple of minutes, they should almost explode and puff up, and that's where you've got this beautiful white doughy little bit in the center. So they're perfectly cooked. Like the way that they've come out of the oven, the look of them, they're exactly. If I was making scones or if I was making American style biscuits,
Mhm.
that's the way that I would expect my biscuits to come out of the oven.
Perfect. That looks delicious. And I should have said, and it's my fault, apologies. In case you guys didn't watch the first video with Chef Matt, go back and watch it. But Chef Matt, you explained there that you have 20 plus years of experience. And while we don't name specific locations for privacy's sake, can you just remind everybody like just a little bit about your background so they know where you're coming from with this stuff?
Yeah, I've been doing this for 23 years, and it's like this is food's been a passion all of my life. I knew at a very early age. I knew when I was like 14, 15-year old, this was the way I wanted to spend the rest of my life.
Mhm.
It was something that it genuinely brought me joy, but I also found peace. I found peace in being in the kitchen. I like, it's like my holy ground. It's like going to church. It's like it's where I feel safe, and it's where I feel that I can be creative and I can be me, and I can show me on the food and the skills and the quality of what I produce.
That's amazing. That's so cool that you have that passion and that drive for it. That's very cool. That's cool. And what kind of food is your favorite to make typically? Do you have a specific kind or depending on your mood?
It depends on my mood. I mean,
Mhm,
like I go through these phases because I've been doing something so long.
mhm.
I don't particularly have favorites anymore, but what I do is I'll obsess about something.
Mhm.
So I'll sink myself into making desserts for 3 months,
Oh,
and I'll get all this inspiration and all this creative adrenaline, and I'll make hundreds of desserts,
uh-huh.
and I'll refine recipes and put them into practice, so that I've got like a bank of knowledge, because it's like you at the level that I'm at, I spend a lot of my life teaching people how to cook.
Mhm.
But then you get to a point in your career where people stop teaching you, so you have to teach yourself.
Oh,
So you're I'm my greatest motivator. So I've got to push myself. So I'll do desserts for a couple of months, and I'll create a complete new menu, and then we'll be set for 6 months, and then I'll go and I'll do the same with the starter section. I'll do the same with the
mhm.
dessert section and the main course section, because I think it's important for me to grow and for my business to grow, to be able to develop the skills that I've got around me. I've got to develop my skills first before I can develop anybody else.
I think that's so cool, and that I mean, then you're always learning and challenging yourself. I think that's cool. That's a neat drive that you have. That's great. So much more than Megan. But, if you were here with Gwyneth right now, I know I'm putting you on the spot, and I should have given you time to prep, and you're seeing this breakfast made, and we'll keep going with the breakfast, but is there something that you would add to it, or is there something you would do differently, or so far so good? I know we've only seen the bread, but
So far so good. I mean, everything that I've seen so far, she's in a very good place. The biscuits have come out beautifully. If I
Mhm,
was going to do anything with these biscuits right now, I'd
mhm.
probably have a little bit of clarified butter on the side in a pastry brush. So just as it came out of the oven, I'd just give them a nice little gloss, and you almost paint this the butter over it. It gives it an amazing color. It almost glistens in the sunlight, but you're also feeding that bread, so it's absorbing the butter. And I do that 2 to 3 times before I actually came to serve it, and
Uh-huh.
every time I did it, the bread's just absorbing more butter and more butter, and you can almost imagine like biting into it, and you've got this really, it's crispy on the outside, it's fluffy in the center, it's buttery, it's beautiful.
Oh, that sounds amazing. Oh, man, that sounds delicious. That's great. Oh, very good. Okay, well, I'll hit play on this. I appreciate you answering my questions there. I'll hit play and we'll see what else we see. It looks so good. Again, I love her whole setup there, her kitchen. I'm sure it costs $1 billion, but it's gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Now tell me what we're looking at here, or if you can tell.
I was trying to decide about this because
Uh,
you they almost look like there could be fried eggs, but then I'm not so sure, because there doesn't seem to be any oil, and there doesn't seem like
mhm.
a fried egg. You'd expect more life,
Uh-huh.
So I don't know. I don't know whether it's almost like a poached egg, but she's almost shallow doing them.
Uh-huh.
Instead of having deep water.
Uh-huh.
It's quite trendy now, isn't it? Where you put like a small amount of maybe an inch worth of water, but you put
Uh-huh.
your eggs in. Unfortunately, she's cracked one of them.
Oh, yeah.
Um, I mean, there's 3 eggs there, isn't there? Later
Uh-huh.
on, we'll see that she only actually serves 2 of them.
Okay.
But I think her intention was to serve 3, but
Uh-huh.
mistakes happen, right?
Sure, absolutely. That's funny. I do not cook. I'm open about that, but poached eggs is something that I make because my Gosling and I both like poached eggs. I had not heard about the shallow. What's the benefit there of shallow versus
You
deep? I
you you
don't.
what so it's just a speed thing. So
Oh, okay.
there's not like a poached egg, you drop it into deep water,
Mhm.
because what you want is you want the white to engulf the yolk. So you almost get like a ball of white, don't you? So you
Mhm.
can't actually see any of the yolk. But from a speed point of view, you know, if you're only cooking for home and you're cooking for family, you know, if you're in a rush, what you can do is you can do them in a small amount of water, but then you know that you're going to get a very, very runny yolk, and a lot of people like that. What I would say about this picture is that we've overcrowded the pan. So if we wanted to, if you know, from my point of view, if I wanted to cook 3 eggs, I probably would have picked a bigger pan, or I would have cooked 2 eggs and then 1 egg. I wouldn't have maybe put 3 eggs in all at the same time. That might be why we found that we've split the last yolk, because we've overcrowded the pans. That, especially when it comes to eggs, you don't want to overcrowd your pan. You if it is a fried egg, you know, you want space in between each egg.
Oh, I've already learned so much more from you than I did the whole of Meghan's show. So that's incredible. That's cool. I didn't even think about it, honestly. Like I'm just looking at it, and there were 4 biscuits on the tray, so I just thought it was 4 eggs, and that I don't know, 2 of them had somehow congealed together. But I see what you're saying now. It looks like it's divided into thirds, and that third one just kind of runny.
The nice thing it would have been if we'd have put a little bit of Melbourne sea salt over it just at this stage, so as it cooked, it took on that salt. Or maybe if we just put a little bit of cracked black pepper over each yolk, just to enhance the flavor of the dish. But I mean, like we're home cooks now, aren't we? So you know, this is okay.
It's okay, but you know what? She's showing what it looks like. So again, I've already learned more from this than I did that other show. All right, I'm gonna hit play. We'll see what else we got. I should have. Yeah, I can go back and see what she says there. I'll try to drop that in because I can't play it because the music. I'll try to watch it.
I tried lip reading that, and I think she said, "I've cracked the yolk."
Oh, thank you. Oh, okay, gotcha. Here, let me go back and
I tried to, if you just replay it a little bit, when you try to read her lips, it's almost like she's saying that she's
go ahead. I paused it.
Yeah, she's I think she says, "I've split the yolk."
Okay, let's see. Oh, yeah, maybe so. It does look like that. Okay, and then here is the final. There you go. So tell me your thoughts on this. Looks like bacon, eggs, biscuits,
Yeah,
and then what's in the middle? Can you tell?
That later on, I think there's a jar on the side, and it looks like it's orange marmalade.
Oh,
So I
okay.
think that the marmalade's to go with the biscuits, and then you've got like American style streaky bacon that's really crispy. Looking at this now, you know, we have seasoned it, which is great. I think that they are fried eggs because of the way that they've come out. I think the reason why I got confused earlier is because we'd overcrowded the pan and you couldn't see any life in them. You know, like maybe the oil wasn't quite hot enough when she added the eggs, because they're not defined, are they? You know, they're not the egg shape that you'd expect from a fried egg.
Right. So if somebody accidentally does that at home, is there a way to correct that? See, you're already teaching us so much more. I'm just curious. Not really.
With the cracked yolk.
Well, no, I mean the overcrowding, and if you're trying to make it look a little better, I guess at that point you just gotta try to cut.
So what you want to do is you want to, when you fry an egg, you want a pan that's big enough for the amount of eggs that you want to cook, or you need to realize that you need to individually cook those eggs. What I always do when it comes to frying an egg is I'd put a good amount of oil. You know, with a fried egg, you want a good amount of oil in your pan, and you want to preheat that oil up. Then before I add the egg, I'd always turn the flame down low. I'd add the egg. I'd maybe add a little cube of butter, just from a flavor profile point of view. And as soon as that egg goes in, you want a spatula or something, and you want to almost just tilt the pan ever so slightly and just flick the oil over the top of the egg, so that you're getting a consistent cook throughout, because then the heat's penetrating from the top and the bottom. So the less time that the egg's in the pan, all we're looking to do with a fried egg is we're looking for the white to congeal, and the yolk will take care of itself.
Wow, you're good. You're good. That's amazing. This plate, I just see it and my mouth is already watering. I want to eat everything on this plate. It looks delicious. Absolutely.
Honestly, it it's one of those things, isn't it? And
Uh-huh.
sometimes simple is sometimes best.
Uh-huh.
And this is the kind of food that we all eat from.
Yes.
It might not be food that we eat every day, and
True.
we might eat healthily most
Mhm.
of the time. But
Mhm.
as a weekend treat, something
That's
like
right.
that, a couple of
Mhm.
eggs, a couple of biscuits, a little bit of crispy bacon, and a nice dollop of orange marmalade, and
Yeah.
you're like, life is good. Life
That's
is good.
right. That's it, and I think it's versatile. Most people, I know there's different kinds, but most people will enjoy something like this, and I always think, again, you have a child, I have a child, a lot of people do, so this would be something I could get my Gosling to, "Okay, can you stir this while I do this?" They can help in things like this, so this is
But
good.
what an amazing idea, though, because it's not something that, I mean, doing what I do, it's not something that I consider on a daily basis. But
Mhm.
you look and you go, 9 times out of 10, if you intended to eat this,
Mhm.
what you'd do is you'd go to the supermarket and you'd buy the bread, you'd buy the bacon, and all the rest of it. But
Mhm.
I wouldn't have thought that, or I've never seen in the supermarkets that I shop in, I wouldn't have thought that these biscuits or the scones or whatever were an item that you could buy off the shelf as a raw product, and then you could literally. But I mean, how nice is that? You
Yeah.
know, it's like, even if you look at, like, going down the same lines of savouries, you
Uh-huh.
look at, like, croissants or pan of chocolate or something
Mhm.
like that. 9 times out of 10, if you're going to eat them at home, you'd buy them cooked, and you might warm them up in the oven. But
Yeah.
how nice would it be if you could buy them raw, get them out the night before, leave them in the refrigerator, and then in the morning you're cooking your own fresh croissant or you're cooking your own biscuit? I think it's a great idea.
I think so too. And then that will come up in the Megan video, but I just want to point out, yeah, everything on here minus the marmalade is cooked. So there's
Yeah,
actual cooking going on here.
yeah. But the nice thing about this video,
Mhm.
and it's not something that we saw in anything that Megan produced, but
Mhm.
then really nice thing is that this video is showing other brands, and
Mhm.
and she's almost saying, this is amazing, and she's showing you the bag that it came in, so that
Yeah.
you can look and you can go, actually, that looks really good. I'm going to Google that. I'm going to find out how much it is. I'm going to see if I can get it delivered in my area. I'm going to see how expensive that is to buy.
Yeah.
And it's nice, that, isn't it? Because then you're in a position where we can all learn, or we can all benefit from it.
True. Yeah, absolutely. Yep. I think you're so spot on. I definitely, yeah. And there's something to the plating. I think she did a good job there. Do you have any thoughts just in general on that? I know it's home cook versus
it,
restaurant,
it,
but in
it
general.
it's home cook, isn't it? I mean, from
Uh,
my point of view, like, from a professional point of view, if
sure.
we was going to do it, we'd do the eggs, we'd do the bacon, maybe sat over one of the eggs or arched over one of the eggs. The
Mhm.
biscuits would be served separately, maybe in a bread basket or a side plate or something, and the
Mhm.
preserve would just be served as a preserve, and
Mhm.
you'd have a spoon and you'd be able to help yourself. This is almost like, this is what I'm going to eat. This is my portion of food, and that's what she's showing you.
Yeah, 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 I
But I
think
think
that's
there's something quite humble about things like this, because you're not being pretentious with it. That is
it.
literally, your intention is you're gonna eat 3 rations of bacon,
Mhm.
2 biscuits, 2 fried eggs, and a little bit of marmalade. You've not thought, oh, I need to put any dried flowers on it. You've not
Exactly.
thought, I need to do anything silly with it. You literally, that's how we eat. That's how we all eat.
That's it. Yeah, and that's exactly it. My kid would eat this stuff, and I always think about that because a lot of stuff kids just are like, "Eh," you
Yeah,
know?
when I'm at work, my food looks absolutely amazing, and I put a
Mhm.
lot of time and effort into the development of the way that my food's going to look. I draw myself little plans, and I've got paper in it, and I design them, and I design the elements and where those elements are going to go, and then I execute it. I don't do that when I'm at home. I just put it on the plate and I just eat it. because it doesn't matter to me. It
Yeah,
matters to me from a professional point of view.
sure.
When I'm at home, I'm not that pretentious where I start designing the way I'm going to eat my food.
Well, if you asked your son, "Do you want this quick or do you want it to look fancy?" I'm guessing he probably wants it quick. So I think
Yeah,
at
yeah,
home people understand.
yeah,
So,
definitely.
yeah. But beautiful. Okay, I'll keep. Oh, I think that's basically the end. Let's see. Looks good. Yeah, that was and then it rolled into the other, but that looks pretty tasty. Overall, any other thoughts on that? Feel good about it?
I just really like the kitchen. I think you can see it's a used kitchen. You can see it's somewhere where she's very comfortable, and
Mhm.
she's just got that look about her. Like, I give no fuck. And
Yes.
I respect that. I respect that about people, because they've worked hard all of their lives. She's
Mhm.
got her career to a point where she can do these things and not care about the consequences. And you've got to look and you've got to go, what a beautiful way to live, because the rest of us, we have to care about the consequences.
That's right. You're absolutely right. You know what's just occurring to me too as we watch this is I didn't see any waste. I mean, one could argue maybe that one smushed eggs, but I'm guessing even that egg got eaten. It just didn't get in the photograph or the video or whatever.
Yeah, definitely. I would imagine it definitely got eaten.
Mhm. Even if it's by the pup, somebody ate
Yeah,
it. He's a
yeah.
happy boy. So,
But
uh,
she must have been cooking for more than herself, because she did 4 biscuits.
yeah, I
So
would
you
think.
presume that there's somebody else there in the house,
Mhm.
and that food's probably gone there.
Yeah, absolutely. I think so too. I think so too. But it looks I don't see this and get intimidated by it. Yeah, I think it's something I think most people would enjoy.
I
To
would imagine that that's how most people are on a Sunday
Mhm.
morning.
Yes.
They've got up, they're still in the pajamas,
Uh,
they're not worrying about makeup, they've
yeah.
made themselves a nice cup of coffee, and
Mhm.
then they're like, right, let's have a little bit of breakfast.
That's right. Sun's coming up. Absolutely. I know. I want to Google that. There you go. Because I know people ask. It's CAPPELLOS.
It's
Oh,
interesting.
almond flour. There you
It's
go.
interesting that it's gluten free, isn't it?
I didn't even notice
That's
that.
yeah, yeah,
Tell us about that, and while you do, I'm gonna look at my phone and Google so I know about this mix and see how much it is because 'cause I'm very curious. Go ahead.
yeah. See where this brand originates from.
Yeah, I will. But, when you see things like almond flour, gluten-free, just in base terms, does that play into cooking or difference or,
Yeah,
I know
you've got to treat it completely differently.
okay.
I mean, what you've got to remember is the gluten plays a massive role in the way that things prove, the way that things rise. You've got plain flour and you've got self-raising flour, haven't you? Self-raising flour. It's one of those things where it's got the raising agent in it, so
Mhm,
you're going to get a very good balloon. We call it a balloon, so that's the proof that we're talking about. Whenever you're removing those things, it's always more of a struggle to get a rise. You generally find that it's a little bit denser.
okay.
It surprised me watching the video and then just going back to that and seeing that.
Mhm,
I missed that on the first one that I saw,
mhm.
but I mean, it rose beautifully, didn't it?
It looked
Yeah,
beautiful. Yeah.
and so I mean, it's a very good recipe that they've got there,
Mhm,
and it seems to be a very good brand if they can produce that lightness. And you can see how light it is with the way I was talking earlier, where you've got
mhm,
the golden brown and then it kind of splits and it just peeps out, where you've got this like really soft white. You know,
mhm.
that's a very difficult thing to achieve with gluten-free flour.
Mm. I've found it and it's actually I mean, I figured it'd be unholy expensive and all this stuff. It looks like, you can maybe, order it online even, but it's right here. It's on their website. It's however you say it, capellos.com, and it's called Buttermilk Built Biscuits, and they're listed as, frozen, ready to bake, made with buttermilk, cage-free eggs, real butter, gluten-free. And then let's see. Oh, and then the reviews. It's got yeah, mostly 5-star reviews. People are saying they're amazing biscuits. I have the ingredients if that helps you. Yeah, buttermilk, sea salt, white rice flour, tapioca starch. Oh, sorry, tapioca starch, almond flour, eggs, brown rice flour, coconut oil, butter, sunflower oil, honey, potato starch, baking powder, and then sea salt, xanthan gum, baking soda, and natural flavor.
See, it's brilliant, isn't it? Because you read through that list and you look and you go, if you was actually going to make a biscuit, it'd have about 5 things in it, and that'd be it.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean,
like
from all I know of, I'm just showing the picture, but
I,
all I've know of baking, that sounds right to me. I don't know.
yeah, but you look and it's like I don't have a great deal of experience in American biscuits, but I've got a lot of experience with like an English style scone, whether that be a sweet scone or a savory scone. And a scone recipe has no more than maybe 6 ingredients to it. And you look and it's like that list is massive, and you go
Yeah.
all of those things, but then you look and you go, all of those things have made it so that so that you get that rise, you get that perfection, and it's mind-boggling to me. It's mind-boggling how you get these big corporate companies that can produce these things, and they put these ingredients in, and it's almost like they can mirror the home cook or the professional cook from a frozen point of view, and it's perfect every single time. And you look and you go, I feel like I've wasted my life. I feel like I've invested so much time into food, and now like you can buy it just as good frozen.
Well, you just need to figure out how to make your fabulous dishes freezable, so that way we can pop them in our homes. There you go. That's funny. But yeah, so it looks like the bag comes with 6 biscuits. They're about 200 calories a biscuit, if anybody cares about that. But yeah, looks great. That's amazing. I just can't believe, that those are frozen biscuits. Mine don't look like that.
Not for the way that they've come out. I mean, even if it was frozen, you'd expect them not to have risen as much. You'd
They'd be
expect them
flat and like hockey pucks. Yeah.
You'd expect them to be quite dense. You'd expect them, because they've been frozen, that they're holding more water retention than what they should do. There's various things that go wrong when you start freezing things like that.
Yep, I think so. Well, if you're up for it, let's take a look. So this was posted. I meant to look up the time. I want to say it was at least a couple hours, all the way up to a day, perhaps something like that, between that going and then Meghan has posted. So if you don't mind, we'll take a look at what Meghan shared. And again, if it's okay, I'd like to, let's see, hold on. Let me start. I'd like to I'll just let it play, and and then we'll talk through it, and we'll pause it a lot. But here you go. I'm going to hit play. I can't play this one either because there's music, but I don't think there's not talking, it's giggling. And it says happy Sunday, friends. And then something that we will discuss. And then there's no music here. And this was shared on the As Ever. Oh no, I'm sorry. This was on Meghan's story on Instagram. So let me go back and say anything you want and tell me your immediate thoughts. That's all there is to that video. So there's not a lot of substance there, but
there's not a great deal to it, is there? But like, one thing that strikes me straight away is, if I was Meghan's friend and she invited me for breakfast and she served me that, I'd just shake her hand and just be like, we're done. We're done. Like, this is bullshit. I sat through 8 episodes of you making fucking fruit rainbows, and then you invite me around for breakfast. I was expecting some crispy bacon, some really nice biscuits, a couple of eggs, and I've got this. What is it? Like,
that's exactly it. And once again, that's exactly it. We're left going, what is it? Now I'm going to take a picture because I cannot see what that says. So I'm going to take a picture and zoom in on those words. It looks like it says, when one of the besties reinvents a banana split for breakfast. Okay, so there's that. It's reinventing the banana split for breakfast. Do we need a reinvented banana split?
See, I've got problems there, because you look, and I mean, banana splits are awesome, right? Like, everybody, whether you eat them now, but I mean, as a kid, like, we've all eaten a banana split, haven't we? That you look and you like, if you're going to reinvent something, generally your reinvention is better than the original. And I looked, and I think banana split was from like early 1900s, and amazingly, I think I said it before in the last time we spoke, but like history absolutely amazes me, and it's the way that I retain information. But banana split was invented by a guy, and I think he was a pharmacist. And so, I mean, you'd expect it to be an ice cream parlor, or you'd expect it to be a chef or something. And it was this apprentice guy that worked as a pharmacist, and he invented this banana split. And people still go absolutely nuts for it these days, don't they?
Absolutely.
And you look and you go, would you, what we've just seen there, would you ever contemplate calling it a banana split?
No, I was going to ask you. I'm like, did I miss something?
I thought I missed something. I watched it 3 times because I almost felt like the video, we'd not finished watching it. I almost felt like it'd been cut or something, and that there was the bit that we missed where there was going to go to the fridge and get 3 scoops of ice cream and put it down the center, or there was going to do something with it. But I mean, even if this was breakfast, I don't understand why. Like, because everything on there is quite a normal breakfast, right? You've got a bit of banana, you've got some blueberries, you've got some raspberries, you've got a little bit of coulis, so we can look at it and we can go, yeah, it's breakfast. Why present it like that? Why present it with the banana slice like that? Because
there's no reason.
It just it's weird.
That's it. It's creating a problem that doesn't exist. Yeah.
I mean, 100%. I can tell you that it's not a banana split, and we would have offended less people if we hadn't have called it a banana split.
Exactly.
If we'd have chopped the bananas up a little bit and we'd have served them in a bowl, nobody would have batted an eyelid at this video. They'd have just thought, "Oh, Meghan's got some friends over." But
that's it.
It can't be normal in Meghan's world, can it? It can't. So you're in this limbo land now where you're almost dreading. Oh no, she's not done something else, has she? And you're almost watching it because you're expecting to see it now.
Yes. And you would think at some point, if enough people criticize you about something, you're gonna maybe think about, maybe I should come up with a cool idea, or what, something, pull my hair back, something. No.
But you've not reinvented anything. That is a pretty standard breakfast for most people.
It's a parfait, basically, if you ask me. It looks like.
Yeah. But you've just sliced your banana a little bit weird, haven't you? But
she quite literally split a banana, so she thinks that's the same thing.
But I think if you look closely at the picture, I think the banana furthest away from us on my left hand side, it looks like it's still got the root. It's still got the roots
right there.
Banana. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you just like, that's the very first thing you do, right? So you peel it, you take the root off, and then you'd slice it down the middle. And it just.
Yeah. But again, I mean, nothing was cooked.
No
technique displayed, no nothing.
No, the granola will have been bought in, I don't know, that could be maybe raspberry jam or strawberry jam. I'd guess strawberry if I
based on Meghan's history, maybe.
Yeah, but
they didn't even show that. Like, yeah.
There's no substance to it, is there?
No.
It's like, it's almost like lazy, isn't it? I can't be asked to chop the banana, so I'm just going to split it down the middle because there's 2 of us, so we get half each.
It's irritating because they're calling it a banana split. It's quite literally a split banana, and they're missing the point of everything.
It's irritating how every time you see anybody eat anything, they put it in their mouths and they're so happy, and you go, "What are you happy about?
Exactly.
What's making you happy?"
That's right. Exactly. Something I make for my gosling, it's just something I made since she was little. I call it sushi, where I cut banana in just thick chunks. And then I put peanut butter and a little 1 chocolate chip on it. And so she feels like she's getting this treat, and we call it sushi, and it's a big deal and it's special. I'd venture to say my creation's more exciting than this.
So what you need to do is, the next time you decide that you're going to make that, is don't bother chopping it up. just split the banana down the middle,
Yeah.
spread the peanut butter on, and then
Oh,
maybe 4 chocolate chips per half,
that's
and
right.
then pass it over, and then when she looks at you as if to say, "What's this?" Then
And
you know
still
a
call it sushi,
yeah,
though.
yeah,
So
yeah. But then you know the true reaction that you're going to receive. Like, you know,
that's right. She'll eat the chocolate chips off and then slide the plate back at me. Oh, goodness. Yeah. I'll hit play on the video one more time, see if we notice anything else. Let's see. Oops. Here we go. So yeah. So again, I mean, is she putting dried flowers on it? Maybe. Oh, I did want to point out this came out after the Gwen video. I never know on Meghan's clothes. She looks to maybe be wearing pajamas, whereas her friend's dressed. Maybe that's
I
a
think
clap back. I don't know. Go ahead.
it's hard to say, isn't it? It's
I know
like,
with her, it's hard to say.
but with that, you'd think there'd be some sort of continuity, wouldn't you? So it's like, you know, you're looking, you go like, we've all seen the series, and we've all seen what she's done,
Mhm.
but you'd think that somewhere it'd tie in, wouldn't you? Because she sells honey, so you'd think, you know, why you'd
Oh,
expect
yeah.
you'd expect there to be like a little jar of honey on the side, wouldn't you? And
Yeah.
or just before they decide that they're going to eat it, that they just drizzle a little bit of honey over the granola, and but then that would make sense in my head, because then it ties into the series, and there's purpose behind everything, isn't there? But it's like,
Absolutely.
it's just so random. It's just like, you've done this, so I'm going to do this. Yeah, and
Mhm.
it's just so immature, so petty. But if you are going to do it, you'd at least go, oh, I'm going to try a little bit harder this time.
Mhm. Yep, you would think so. Boy, they clap back at me when I do this or that, or I don't do this or that, or I don't cook anything. I'm gonna try to cook. You'd think, but no. Mm-mm.
No,
I think this is more of a. I mean, it's just an ongoing look at me, but also I have friends. I really that's it seems to be more the focus than the food itself.
that could be the cleaner for all we know. Like,
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, exactly.
it could be
Yeah,
anybody.
her assistant. I have no idea. Yeah. Yeah. Huh. Well, I mean, I hate to use your talents on this, but I guess I would ask you, I'll pause it at the end when we look at it. How would you elevate this? I don't even know. I mean, cook something to go with it? I don't know. Not
I
call it a
mean,
banana split?
if this was, like, you know, you're looking, you go, if you gave me a basket and you gave me all of those ingredients,
Mhm.
and if I was to elevate it, you'd almost build it up in layers, wouldn't you?
Uh-huh.
So, you know, you might take the granola and put it in a pestle and mortar, and you might you know, grind half of it up, so you've got almost like more of a softer texture. But then
Mhm.
you'd thinly slice the bananas, and you'd put some bananas, a little bit of the compote, a little bit of
Mhm.
granola, and you'd build up the layers. And then you'd drizzle the yogurt over it, so that it all cascaded down it. It'd look very elegant, and then the chunky granola you'd use as a garnish to sit over the top of it. That would be quite a nice little morning snack, wouldn't it?
Yeah, yeah, that sounds way
But I
better.
mean, yeah, it's
Yeah.
very difficult to polish a shit. We've all got to realize, it's very difficult when you haven't got many ingredients, and they're the ingredients you've picked. It's very difficult.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't get over the idea of this is just another fruit rainbow, isn't it? I mean, it's nothing's I just keep saying nothing's cooked, but if you pretend to be any kind of cook, chef, whatever she's pretending to be, then wouldn't you cook things? I can't get over
I
that.
think I think I think it, I think it's safe, isn't it? You know, it, if you tell everybody that you love cooking, but
Mhm.
you aren't very good at it, or you haven't got the confidence to do it, I think it's very safe to stick to things that are very basic.
Yeah, yeah, I think you're right. Hmm. Interesting. Any other thoughts on this as we wrap that up?
I think I've thought about this one enough. I don't,
Would you
I don't,
serve this in your restaurant, Chef Matt?
no, 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 not at all. No.
Not just throw a bunch of crap on a plate and call it do you just call this pizza? I mean, it's not banana
You just
split, so
you just call it anything you want, wouldn't you? I mean, like it'd be funny to actually see whether you know if you were to serve it, it'd be funny to see people's reactions on it. You know, if you put it on the menu, not a banana split, see what people did.
That's right. How many people send it back and say, "Well, I think the chef forgot some stuff."
Yeah. Can we have some ice cream with this?
Chef Matt, I will be bugging you in a separate recording. We have much more of her cooking to react to, and I say cooking very loosely. We might just dive into the green waffle of it all if you're up for it. But I would like to say a huge thank you for your time, for your thoughtful comments, for your knowledge, for all of it. And thank you for coming back on the show.
It's absolutely fine. I've really enjoyed it.
Yeah, me too. And definitely if you decide whatever you decide to do, whether it's a channel or anything like that, you let us know. If you get public social media, anything like that, you let us know and we will all, of course, follow you. But again, thank you for everything, Chef. We appreciate it.
No, it's been brilliant. And honestly, if you ever need anything else, or if you revisit these programs that she's done, or you do a recap of any description and you want my input, I'd be quite happy to come back at any point.
If you think that the flockers won't let me have you back on constantly, you're wrong. You're stuck with me now.
There's so many parts of that where I after I did the original one and I was thinking, and there was so many elements of things that we missed or things that we didn't speak about. But the other interesting thing for me was we got such a good response from what we did together, and it blew me away. I'm quite a humble guy, but I'm very passionate about what I do, and a lot of people think I'm a bit nerdy, or I overthink things. But I was humbled by the responses that we got, and it just shows that people do care. There is people have got a fascination with food, and you want to share your knowledge. You get to an age in your career when you've been doing something for so long, you've got this bank of knowledge, and you feel compelled that you want to share it with people. You want to help people.
Yeah, no, you're wonderful. And that's the comment that, I mean, there's so many great comments on your first appearance. And that's the comment I think I got most is you're very thoughtful in the way you handle things. And I know you hate the compliments, but you are very thoughtful in the way you handled it. And a lot of people responded to your thoughtful comments in regards to the bees and the honey and all that. So definitely.
There's so many wonderful things about bees, isn't there? And you could talk, there's so many things that we could talk about for hours and hours and hours, and it would be a show of its own, but they're just magical things, aren't they?
Absolutely. Yes. And to your point, you had shared so much about the recipes and stuff and your thoughts on the show. And then something happened with the recording. It was hard to use. So you did so much work on it. And again, a huge thank you for watching that show. I appreciate it. And I know, that was a daunting task.
It's good. We should do it. We should do a thing where if any of the guys want to know how to make some of the things that she's done, I can start sending you like little recipes over.
I would love that. Yeah. So guys, if you'll leave comments, and what I'd like to do if you're up for it is maybe if they could ask questions, and then
definitely.
if that's okay, and then just what you feel comfortable answering, you can answer maybe next time you come back, if that works.
I'm sure there'll be questions that I won't be able to answer. I don't know everything, and I think that's important. I think I can only advise and I can only help on things that I've got experience in. But if I've got experience, I'm more than happy to share it.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much, Chef Matt. We appreciate that, and I can't wait to have you back really soon. Let's talk some blue-green waffles or whatever was going on there. All right, we'll talk soon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.